Round two, because we need more evidence. More evidence! Hey guys, welcome to Frame Chasers. It's funny, I made that last video in like 5 minutes with like 30 seconds of sleep, and it just like blew up and went viral, which is awesome. I mean, it means people are watching the content, but like holy crap. I like to throw a little comedy in my videos once in a while. Everyone, man, when it comes to like hardware and like nvidia versus AMD and like benchmarks, people get way too serious, man. It's hilarious. But okay, the point of this video is just to address all of the concerns in one spot, because people are really grasping at straws to just like hold on to their faith, you know what I mean? Like, we need to shatter that faith. I'm gonna start this video off with a 1 minute clip from this guy who's named Devin Nash, and I'm gonna assume that like 99% of people that watch hardware on YouTube don't know who this guy is. He runs a company called Nerd Fusion. It's based off of marketing esport players for like brand deals. So he will go to Asus and get them to sponsor a streamer, or even nvidia and get them to sponsor a stream of some sort, and that's his job, right? The reason why this is important is because esports and computer hardware are like the communities never really not combined, but they never cross paths with each other for some reason. That's me though. I have 50% of my feet in esports, and I have 50% in computer hardware, and I keep track of both industries very closely, and that's my passion, right? I love competing in esports. That's why I mod all my hardware, to get the competitive edge, right? But they deal with all the same companies that the hardware people deal with. It's just a different it's a different style of dealing with them, right? But the giant corporations all market either through hardware tech tubers or through esports streamers. It's the same like mechanism, right? Let me show you this video, and it's really important that you watch this 1 minute clip here.
Oh, I remember a couple years ago when people were tossing $1 million budgets into Twitch, and they weren't, and like people were dropping like these huge campaigns for influencers. These endemics were doing it, right? Like Asus and fucking God, what was G2A, right? We're putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into Twitch and not getting those conversions, and now those endemics are initiated. They know that now, right? So selling them inventory is way harder. Yeah. Because at least if you want to go for big contracts. Yeah, someone said like NVIDIA is actually a great example. When NVIDIA started out, they spent a lot of money in the space, and now NVIDIA is like crack team, SEAL Team 6 shit. Like you go to them and you want to advertise something endemic for Twitch or YouTube, they will tell you exactly how to be. All right? Like they'll be like, okay, here's what we're doing. And that's not always good, because that stifles creativity and larger inventory ideas for things like Zizarin, one of my friends on the...
Now, this guy is not a nobody. He is like one of the top streamers on Twitch. One of the top marketers in the esports space right now. This guy's big. And if this guy is saying that if you strike a deal with nvidia, that they're gonna tell you what's up and they're gonna tell you how to be, you best believe what he says. So what that means is the Digital Foundry video that I've been criticizing and that sparked all this nonsense, they struck a deal with NVIDIA. NVIDIA wrote that script, gave it to them, told them what they were going to do, told them what they couldn't show. If you just do a little bit of research into the esports space about how those guys deal with NVIDIA, That's probably why I see things a little bit more rationally when it comes to marketing than the hardware enthusiasts might. So if you look at the nvidia marketing as a whole for this Ampere launch, all of their slides and graphs all compare the 2080 to the 3080. Conveniently, the 2080 Ti is left out. Okay, like why do you think that is? Secondly, there's in any slide where there are FPS, like percentage differences, all the 2080 Ti ones have been taken out. They're not there. Digital Foundry was not allowed to post any FPS numbers, and they never compared it to the 2080 Ti except for the ray tracing part. Like, you have to read between all these lines. They are avoiding direct comparison between the 3080 and 2080 Ti on they are trying their hardest to avoid that comparison. I just wanted to let you guys know that just go through all the keynote stuff and all, like they're trying really hard to avoid that comparison, and they are not releasing any numbers until that release day to make sure that 3080 sells out. The main thing that I think kind of caught everybody off guard, and what I thought was common sense or common knowledge, but actually wasn't, the mainstream hardware enthusiast doesn't actually know how fast a 2080 Ti can go. I think that's the problem. When you go to Tech Power Up and it says 30% performance increase, it's so much faster than that. You got, like, the 2080 Ti is a beast. When you have to let it spread its wings a little bit, and it's a monster of a card. Like, it is in a complete league of its own compared to the 2080 and 2080 Super. The GA or 102 not GA, TU 102 die that thing is incredible at rasterized performance when you unleash it. By unleashing, I mean remove the power limits, throw 500 watts into it, and just let it scream. That's what I mean. Which, you're never going to find that anywhere on any benchmark, because putting 400 or 450 watts into a card is not something that anybody is going to do on a publication website, right? That's the part that's getting everybody off guard. The 2080 Ti is way faster than you think it is. Way faster. Anyway, let's go on to the Q&A now. This is gonna be really good. There's tons of evidence to go through. Okay, I'm not really sure where to start. I'm just gonna kind of read out, like, I have them all like in bullet point here. Let's just start from the top. So, like, the CUDA core count number thing has been explained. Gamers Nexus and Hardware Unboxed did their videos after mine, so it makes perfect sense how they did it now. They increased the CUDA core number, but didn't increase the SM count. So essentially, in Pascal, what it was it could do one integer or one floating point at a time, and it would have to switch between them. Turing changed that where it could do both of them at the same time. That's why that was a massive increase. And they changed it in Ampere, where it can do two FP32 instructions or calculations at once, or it can do the Turing thing, which is one floating point, one integer. And it can't do three floating points or two floating points and one integer. It has to choose. It's very Pascal-like that way. But that's why we're not seeing any scaling with the CUDA core number at all. So I don't know in what scenario you would use double FP30. That's not games, but like they did that for a reason. They didn't come out with double FP32 just for the marketing. I mean, like they could have, but like the marketing and the doubling of the CUDA cores is like a very nice side bonus of their architectural updates. Let's just put it that way. But then I wonder why they didn't market that in the A100 though, like the big daddy data center one. You know what I mean? Which is like why are they marketing their gaming cards as having 16 more teraflops than their data center A100? It's very strange. But at least we know how they're doing it now, and it's not applicable to us as gamers. So you guys have to take all those CUDA core numbers and cut them in half. That's how it's gonna work. Maybe in the 4000 series they'll do something with it, or like 3 floating points and 1 integer or something like that. Like maybe the 4000 series will be the next Turing where they can do both at the same time. But right now we're in another kind of Pascal where it's one or the other right now, right? Anyway, that's concern number 1. Concern number 2. Hang on a second, let me read this. Right, the recorded footage is from a 2080. Oh, come on, guys. That I shouldn't even have to explain that one. I feel like this is a comment that's most brought up by people that don't have 2080s, or they don't have 2080 Ti's. Like, if you run Shadow of the Tomb Raider 4K max settings with TAA with a 2080, it's gonna get around 35 FPS, like Founders Edition stock out of the box. You can confirm that. Just go look up. There's tons of Shadow of the Tomb Raider 4K benchmarks on YouTube with 2080. Just go look them up. They're all there. It's all 35 FPS. Which also lines up perfectly, because if the 3080 is a 70 or 80% performance jump, which is the exact same as a Power Unlimited 2080 Ti, you get 60 FPS out of it, which is what the benchmark showed. I hope I don't have to explain that one anymore. It's not 2080 footage. Like, come on. Like, if it was 2080 footage, it's not. It's 3080 footage. All right. The reason why that one came up is actually a little understandable. It's a verbiage misunderstanding of like the English language. When he talks about the 2080 being the benchmark that they're referring to, he is referring to that 33, 34 FPS number that was in the Borderlands benchmark, it was saved as the last benchmark that was run. That's what he's referring to in the past tense. He's not referring future tense for all the recordings that are happening. For example, if he was using that 2080 on like Borderlands or one of the other games, and it was running at 30 FPS, you'd be able to tell with the YouTube video, because the YouTube video is recorded in 1080p 60. Like, it would look blurrier to you. Like, you can like take your phone and record the screen at 30 FPS if you want to, and just check the difference. It's very strange that this even came up. It seems like such common and like common sense to me that like, but I mean like, yeah, like common sense for one person is a difficult grasp of concept for another person, I guess, right? Which is fair. It's fair. English is a tough language, right? Now the big daddy. This is the one that which is again odd. It seems like nobody's ever run VSync before, but the biggest one was they had VSync on during those benchmarks. Now, no, they didn't. He says around the 6-minute 30 mark that they turned VSync off, and they did that on purpose to make the the gap larger between the 3080 and the 2080. Makes sense, right? So firstly, why would they all of a sudden turn it back on for that one game? They wouldn't. Secondly, if they did, why was it fluctuating up and down in 7 FPS increments? That's not how VSync works. And to prove that point, I'm going to run the exact same benchmark again with VSync on at 60 hertz. And okay, man, this is ridiculous. It's so crazy that there's so many people that are in disbelief. I can't get over it. Okay, let me explain what's going to happen here. Firstly, I'm going to have my afterburner settings live in the corner. My 2080 Ti should be at 2190 megahertz and 16 gigabit per second memory clock. It is a very, very, very fast 2080 Ti. The majority of people cannot get that high with theirs. It's on liquid metal for the die, and it's shunt power modded, and it's flashed. Like, you cannot do more things to this card to get it any faster than it is, okay? So you have to put that into context of just how much effort my card has been pushed to these limits, okay? Secondly, if you look at the FPS number with VSync on, it does not move. It doesn't move 1 FPS up or down the entire time. It might move 1 when it's loading screens, but whatever. That's not the entire benchmark. If you compare it with the one that they did, it's fluctuating up and down the whole time. VSync is off, okay? What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I also have in my afterburner settings the GPU usage. So if you look at my previous numbers, when it was around 66, 67 FPS, and you look at the VSync numbers, and it's locked at 60, you look at the GPU usage, and it will be at 90%, because there's 10% left that it's not using. If it used the extra 10%, it would be at 66 FPS, just like the previous benchmark. So take a look at that while it's going as well. When it goes into the forest, it only uses like 80% because it went to 77 FPS in the last benchmark, right? So yeah, but the main point is that 60 number doesn't even flinch. It is locked at 60, and that is what VSync is. Okay, I hope that's clear. I'm gonna run the benchmark now. Let's run it. I also recorded from start of the launch of the game to the end of the benchmark and did not cut anything in there for the video because you know somebody is going to say he faked it, he cut the video. Like, people will literally try to find anything. Like, I'm just an honest dude. Like, I'm just a dude, you know what I mean? Like I find this shit funny. But people are so, like, it's almost like a religion where they're so ingrained in their beliefs and they just cannot believe that a 2080 Ti could be faster that, like, they will go to the craziest straw grasping you could ever imagine to try and disprove a theory. You could literally have like 30 minutes of footage confirming your findings, and they will find like 30 seconds of, like, I guarantee when the scene transitions and it might go to like 61, somebody will be like, hey, it went to 61. That disproves your theory. Completely ignoring the other 10 minutes of locked 60. Like, it's actually mind-numbing. But let's run the benchmark. This is 60 VSync, 4K, TAA max settings. All right. So did you see how the only blips that actually came up were on the scene transitions when I guess it's loading textures or something for like half a millisecond, it blips. The rest of the time, go back and watch Digital Foundry's video. It's going like this the whole time. In mine, locked 60. That is what VSync is. Anyway, on to the next point because I have spent too much time on this one already. Go outside and get some fresh air because you're looking rough in that basement. Yeah, I totally agree. I took my cat for a walk today. She was super happy, and we took a nap together. It was good. Oh yeah, here's another one. Someone actually posted, what if it was a 65 hertz monitor? Just gonna ignore that one. Just gonna go ahead and just skip this one. What if it's just the drivers? Possible. Like it is possible, but like there's no way for us to know that. I feel like every new GPU generation that gets released, Vega, Navi, Turing, the only one that didn't have was Pascal, okay? But like all the other ones, that always comes out and the benchmarks are always way worse than what the hell the marketing slides were. Both companies, AMD, Nvidia, Intel, it's always the same. And for some reason, the driver thing always comes up where it's like, oh, it's just the drivers. Guys, it's like never the drivers. It like never is. It's all a disappointment from day one to now. It's nothing's changed on all those architectures and all those drivers. But it could be they're like, no one could ever say that the drivers can't do something. Like it's possible. But as of right now, with the data that we have with Shadow of the Tomb Raider and the Time Spy Extreme benchmark, with whatever drivers they're using right now, it's a 2080 Ti. It's all it is right now at this moment. I think that's it for the concerns from the last video. I think I don't want to miss any and then have to revisit or keep talking to people in comments and try and convince them. You know what though? At the end of the day, this doesn't sound like nice, but I don't really care if you believe me or not. That's the main thing. If you post in the comments trying to convince me that I'm wrong, like I don't care. Like my purpose is to provide data and insight. Because I have all this unique hardware, I can give people something that they can make informed decisions about. So if you are a viewer of mine, you're going to appreciate that. If you come into the comments and you say, you're an idiot, you're wrong, this is why, all the reasons that you're wrong, it's like, that's fine. Like, fine, buy the 3080 then. If you, like, just, like, who cares? Just move along and just buy what you want to buy. Like that's the entire point of marketing. But you did watch the video and it did get you thinking. So that at least that's something, right? I mean, it's something. I did my job in that regard. I informed somebody of something that is not false advertising, but misleading advertising at best. But you'll notice that like, in the comments, there's about half. Half the people are just like, they just go right to insults because you just totally shattered their entire reality. Then there's actually the other half of people that legitimately post their concerns and they actually have a good conversation. And that's what this video is for. I wanted to really just record that VSync example for those people because that seemed to be a really big concern. Because there are intelligent people out there. There was a lot of people that joined the Discord that talked to me in the comments and they were like, hey dude, I love the content, but what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And a lot of them were like, wow, you're actually right, and now I have something to think about. So you can help people. Like, it is possible. Like even in this conglomerate of just strange fanboys and religions and weird people, you can talk to intelligent other human beings in this industry. They're there. So yeah. The last point I want to make on this entire launch, I mean, unless more leaks come out, then I'm definitely going to be comparing those leaks. But as of right now, it's still a good launch. That's what everyone's... It's weird that people are kind of missing that whole... Like, you're getting a 2080 Ti for a $500 price cut. It's a good launch. Like, you're getting so much value. It's just... For some reason, the notion of you're getting the same thing as last time, but for a $500 price reduction, like I don't know why that's not a good thing, but people are like, it has to be a $500 price reduction, and it has to be double the performance, or I'm not happy. Like, Nvidia's a business, guys. They're like, you're getting a $500 price cut on a 2080 Ti on a smaller node. Granted, it does have 1 gig less of RAM. That does suck. Whatever. They obviously did bandwidth numbers and found the exact same sweet spot that was on the 2080 Ti and just moved it down with faster memory and got rid of 1 gig. But the bandwidth is the same. Like Nvidia knows the math, man. Take the 3070. It's essentially the exact same CUDA cores as a 2080. Maybe it performs the same as a 2080 Super in regular performance. What was the price on that? $400? So that's a $300 price cut on that one? I don't know the prices off by heart, but you're still getting a price cut. Like a price cut with a smaller node. We don't know if it's a good node or not, but it's a smaller node, more power efficient. You're getting your power limits unlocked from the factory. Like, it's a good launch, guys. It's good. It's just, it's a price cut launch. It's not a performance increase launch. Not in rasterized. In RT, yes, but not normal. It is if you don't know how to power mod. But if you know how to power mod, or even if you just flash like God, what's that BIOS now? The Asus XOC one or whatever, and it gives you 1,000 watts on your 2080 Ti. If you just flash that one on your card, you got your 3080. That's it. That's it. If you don't know how to do that, it's gonna be a big jump for you. If you do know how to do that, no jump for you, my friend. It's the same shit. With my 2080 Ti, the whole thing that sprung all this crap, I like playing Warzone, and Warzone, I have a 280 hertz monitor, right? And Warzone is literally impossible to make run at a locked 278 I lock my FPS at 278 for G-Sync. I have the VG259QM, the Asus Tough one. It is impossible to, with my 2080 Ti, I cannot lock it at 278 FPS at 1080p. It's batshit. I will guarantee you that the 3090 won't do it either. Because I know that the CUDA core numbers are only, you get an extra 1,000. Let's say you get 20% out of it over 2080 Ti. Maybe I can lock it. Maybe. If I power mod the 3090, I might be able to do it. and then just draw like 700 watts out of that bitch. Like, I don't like, well, like I might be able to do it. I'll liquid metal it and power mod it, and then we'll find out. But yeah, like if you buy a 3080, you're gonna get like 200 FPS in Warzone, and that's it. You're not getting shit. It's just the way it is. Again, guys, just remember, it's all fun, and we're speculating, and if you want to call names, or if you feel like you're getting defensive, you've already lost. Just move on. It's fine. But if you do like the content and you think there is some value here, hit that subscribe button and do all that YouTube SEO stuff for me. Let's have another comment raid down below. You know what I want to see? I want to see what the first comment is gonna be about what, like something I missed, or like some nonsense that I didn't cover in this video to disprove the theories. And like somebody's gonna come up with some crazy shit to like disprove all this. Maybe that's just the content we have to make, eh? Just like a constant barrage of all these conspiracy theories of why it's like not proven. And then just me just like constantly rebuttaling these videos. I don't want to do that shit, man. I want to just play some games. Yeah, anyway, if you guys like the content, hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you later.